live on Facebook. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show. We'll be going live on WGOW Talk Radio in just a short moment. Glad you are with us. Isn't it exciting? It's just so exciting. Frank Blair to my left. Aaron Carver to my right. Here I am, stuck in the middle again. Look at that food. Now, that food, there you go, Aaron. Go ahead and go in there and see if you can't get that thing shared. Got Aaron Carver, our
multimedia.
Yeah, our multimedia. Hit up here, share button, yeah. Share a group. It's Backyard Smokers Barbecue. Scroll down. Keep going.
Is there other one?
Let me see, is that it?
So we're giving an attempt to share anyhow, folks.
Can you go to Backyard Smokers and then grab it from there? Yeah, do that. Because we're still live. Let's see. We have to call the radio. It's 6:50 now. We'll have to call the radio station in just a second. Yeah, there it is right there. No, I don't want to share that one.
I have an idea. Let's see.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We got to ditch this. Here, let me just go back to mine. We'll figure it out. Because we don't want to mess up. Go ahead and call up the radio station, if you would, Aaron. Live radio going on right now. Frank, tell everybody about that meal you brought. Because that's an incredible looking chili now. Tonight's chili night. Forgot to tell everybody.
WGOW.
Joe.
This is Kurt. I'm running the show for Joe tonight.
Hey, Kurt. All right. You know how to do this?
Yeah, he's right here. He's gonna kind of walk me through it since the first time. He said, I'm gonna put you on hold for a few seconds, make sure you can hear the station.
Okay. Cannot. We had this first night.
You good?
No. Cannot hear it.
Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Kurt's going to push the other button.
See, I've got an idea.
The right button instead of the left button?
Security Chief Chad Wolf was illegally moved into the job, so he didn't have authority to end it. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's the official forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, any showers move out, then mostly cloudy.
How about now?
Now we can hear it.
Yep.
But
Okay,
now,
good.
let me throw the curveball at you, okay? During the commercial breaks, I like for you to turn it down so we can't hear it. And when we're about 15 seconds out from coming back, turn it back up, okay?
All right, I got you.
You got that, Kurt?
Yes, sir.
You're the man, buddy. There's big money in
All right,
this.
well,
There's big
Yeah.
money in producing this show. Just ask Joe.
Yeah.
he's told me all about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just-
it's,
it's made
him well.
looking
Big
forward
money.
to it.
Big money in YouTube.
We're about, let's see, we're about 2 or 3 minutes away.
Good deal. You gotta get Austin.
All right, thanks.
Side, get your price. Because the leader in tires is Michelin. And the Midnight Oil in Ottawa. Welcome to the weekend, and welcome to The Barbecue Show with Steve Ray.
You there, Austin?
The Barbecue Show is brought to you by the Altus Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ottawa,
Look
by
at
the
the phone.
historic Midnight Oil Service Station in
Look
Ottawa,
at the phone.
by Michelin Tires, because so much is riding on your tire.
You there?
Hello?
You there?
Yeah.
All right, good deal.
Yeah.
We're about 2 or 3 minutes, about 2 minutes out,
I know
okay?
you've got questions, we've got answers,
Austin,
so pick
speak
up the
up a little
phone. 423-267-1037.
Austin, can you hear us?
Let's talk some barbecue.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
reviews have been read.
Make sure
and
you
the
speak up
verdict has
good
been
when
delivered.
we're talking.
For
I know
value,
it's hard to
ease
hear
of
me.
use, dependability,
Right
and
now.
great tasting food, the judges pick
Everything
the
good?
Green Mountain Grill. At the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop, we have all three Green Mountain Grills, plus plenty of accessories, plus free assembly and instruction. You'll love the way your food tastes, and the versatility of the Green Mountain Grill is second to none. Get yours at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ottawa. I know you've been looking for a place like this. Well, so was I. And that's how the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop began. The best selection of barbecue rubs, sauces, supplies, and friendly advice in the Chattanooga area. You want a rub that's sweet but not too spicy? We've got it. You want a mustard-based sauce? We've got that too. Need it? We've got it. At the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ottawa. It's where Chattanooga goes to barbecue. The reviews have been read and the verdict has been delivered. For value, ease of use, dependability, and great tasting food, the judges pick the Green Mountain Grill. At the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop, we have all three Green Mountain Grills, plus plenty of accessories, plus free assembly and instruction. You'll love the way your food tastes, and the versatility of the Green Mountain Grill is second to none. Get yours at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ottawa. I've heard it all. The guy at the other tire store said they were as good as Michelin's. I'm not going to have this car much longer, so I don't need Michelin's. I'd like to have Michelin's, but they cost me nothing. Let me assure you, there is no tire as good as a Michelin. You need the best tire, and that's Michelin. At the Midnight Oil in Ottawa, we make Michelin tires affordable. Call us at the Midnight Oil, 643-1111. Give us your size, get your price. Because the leader in tires is Michelin, and the Midnight Oil in Ottawa.
Talk Radio 102.3.
I guess we're on the air. Hey, welcome everybody. It's the weekend. Time to start smoking and grilling on the barbecue show right here on Talk Radio 102.3. Also live right now on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Facebook page. It's a barbecue simulcast right here in Chattanooga. Our number is 267-1023. 423-267-1023. You've got questions, we've got answers to all your cooking, grilling, and food smoking for this weekend. Our broadcast partner is Backyard Smokers Barbecue on Facebook, the #1 destination for questions, answers, and even if you want to post some of those pictures and brag a little bit, go to Backyard Smokers Barbecue on Facebook. Back in the WGOW studios is Joe Varner and Kurt producing the radio side here in the Owl's Nest Barbecue studio. Aaron Carver producing the Facebook side, and back at his house monitoring the chat room is our buddy Jeff Maxwell. He's your host in the chat. Join him, and you can join in the conversation. We're in touch, so you get in touch as well. Follow Owl's Nest Barbecue on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and at www.owlsnestbarbecue.com and the Owl's Nest Barbecue podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. 267-1023 in Chattanooga. That's our phone number. 267-1023. We're talking chili tonight. You know, I have not a chili game. I had no chili game until last Sunday when I made some chili. And I got the idea, so we've got to talk about chili because winter is here, like especially today. What a great chili day today was with the rain and the cold weather. So two people I thought of when I thought chili. One, Austin Garrett, Chattanooga's police foodie, and my buddy sitting right here with me, Frank Blair. What's up, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
Good evening, folks.
Hey, guys.
Austin, what's up, man?
Hey, buddy. How are you guys tonight?
We're doing. Make sure you speak up real loud into that telephone so everybody can hear our buddy Austin Garrett.
All right.
I know you're not, you know, Frank, that would be something. This is the only time Austin's ever been bashful.
Oh, I'm not bashful.
You can usually hear him coming a mile away.
Block away.
Hey, Austin, we're going to talk chili tonight, but the first thing I want to ask you, I'm going to ask you one police question, if you will allow that. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. when you go to the jail and go down to the kitchen, do you critique the guys that are cooking down there? Like, say, you need to add some salt, some pepper, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Do you do that?
No, I don't. Normally when I'm cooking, it's for 5 or 6 people. When they're cooking, it's for about 600. So I try to stay out of their way.
So you don't ever roll up your sleeves and jump in there with them, though, and say, I got this one, guys?
No, I'm afraid I would complicate it. Those guys have to eat on time.
You know, Austin is our Hamilton County Sheriff's Department chief deputy. But he's also one of the biggest food guys in town.
Foodies. Yeah, he's a foodie. You're a foodie, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah, I guess I am.
You are.
Austin, where did that interest in food and culinary stuff come from?
You know, I couldn't answer that really. It's just something I've kind of latched onto and enjoy doing. I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy trying and attempting to cook things. My wife doesn't complain too much because she doesn't like to cook, so she enjoys me taking care of it. And I don't know, there's just a lot of enjoyment comes out of it. I enjoy watching the two of you guys cook, so I try to live up to your expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, hardly not.
Yeah, boy,
It'll take you about a minute and a
yeah,
half.
it takes about half a minute. So when you know, looking back, when did it first? You know, like you started a Facebook page, and you know, there's a lot of people on that. Everybody likes to share things and talk about the different recipes and things you post. When did that come from?
Probably about 9 or 10 years ago. You know, out of it, just kind of jokingly, we were sharing pictures, and I just came up with the page name of Austin's Kitchen, and that just kind of transformed from places we ate at to actually what we were cooking. And you know, people that are on that page share recipes. I share recipes, not necessarily mine, but other people's, and then you know, kind of share things that you're cooking or that you're doing or smoking or grilling. And you know, there's a lot of attention on it, believe it or not. I think cooking is a really big hobby for a lot of people.
It is. Frank, where did you now? Ever since I've known you, you've been interested in food. Where did yours come from?
I think when I got my first Weber smoker, kettle smoker, the first one I had, I think I paid $99 for it 100 years ago. I had no clue what I was doing. And a gentleman who, I will not say his last name because you know him very well, said, make sure that you boil your ribs before you cook them. And at that point, God's honest truth, well, I might as well go and say Steve Kelly, who you know very well. It started from there. I had a couple Webers, and then I stepped up and bought a couple smokers. And as you know, we ran into each other about 5 years ago coming out of Ace Hardware and started talking barbecue. And you said, come on over, and boom, there we go.
But you know, it seems like both of y'all transferred your outdoor cooking skills inside.
Well, it's fun.
Yeah, this time of the year for sure.
Yeah.
Austin, do you when you get in the kitchen, do you? Do you like on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon? Do you tell the wife to just sit down, honey, and I'm gonna whip us up a big meal, or is that how it usually works?
Well, usually it's about every night. Like I said, she prefers that I cook. And now she's a good cook also. She makes a lot of great dishes. I just don't think she likes to do it that much. But yeah, we cook most every night something. Like I said, it's interesting and fun to try new things, and you get ideas from other people and learn how to do it. And like I said, I didn't know what I was doing, and my wife, she saw that I enjoyed it, and she bought me a big green egg for our first anniversary in 2013 or 2012. No, 2013. I'm sorry.
You better
get in
get
trouble
that
here
right,
in a minute. But yeah, so we were married in 2012, 2013. Yeah, so she got that for me for our first anniversary, and I never smoked anything. So, you know, just kind of learning and reaching out to you and Frank and different people and asking things and learning different ways of doing to cook things, and it's just fun.
It's amazing, fellas, the way it snowballs, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. My wife and I had an agreement when we got married 20-something years ago. If you clean, you don't cook, and if you cook, you don't clean. And that's worked out very well for us. And I enjoy cooking more than she does, so she typically cleans up and I cook.
Wow, that's a pretty good deal.
It's a good deal for both parties. Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal. And you don't help her at all. You just say, "There you go, baby. I'm gonna be. If you want me, I'll be in the den."
No, it's not quite that easy.
Yeah, you believe that, don't you, Austin? All right, Austin Garrett. Let's talk chili. That's why we're here tonight. What is the Austin Garrett world famous, as our buddy Harold Stockburger describes every meal that he puts on Facebook, the world famous Harold Stockburger's food. What is the world famous Austin Garrett chili recipe?
Well, I have to give credit for the recipe. It actually came from my wife, but I always take a recipe and kind of put my own twist on it. The chili recipe is very basic. I use both ground beef or chuck and sausage. Now, the secret to the chili is to use Dobbins sausage with extra sage. And for the people that don't know what that is, that's Dobbins Supermarket in Higdon, Alabama.
Yep.
And they produce their own sausage on a weekly basis, and it's the best sausage in the world. So use the sausage with extra sage, bell pepper, onions, of course. Use a lot of garlic, and I probably go overboard with the chili powder, according to my wife, because I do not adhere to a recipe. I always add extra. Diced tomatoes, kidney beans, salt, tomato paste, that kind of thing. Now, I always, like I said, add extra things. If I cook a pot of pinto beans, I like to repurpose those the next day and make chili with it. So I load up on the pintos and the kidney beans as well.
Do you find yourself putting a lot of leftovers in the bowl, other than the pinto beans, like corn? If you got some corn, you throw that in.
I've never added corn into it. That's interesting. That might be really good for a white chicken chili.
Mm-hmm.
I always use chicken broth for a stock for anything if I need to add anything to it.
And Frank, what is yours? What's the world famous Frank Blair chicken recipe?
Well, the chili recipe, I told Austin my recipe was never will there be another batch made like the one I'm cooking right now, because I typically do what he does. I don't go by an exact recipe every time. I'll take a base recipe and then I'll modify and go with it to pretty much to find something I like. I cooked this on Wednesday night. I like to let the chili sit in the fridge overnight. I think it does it well rather than just cook it hot and serve it straight off the stove. But it started with pressed garlic, onions, cooked in a little bit of olive oil in the skillet, add ground beef, cook it, strain the grease off, and then start adding your ingredients. Cumin is one that I like to add. My sister told me about that. It's a real earthy kind of spice. Obviously pepper, salt. I do put chili powder. Also put a little cayenne in it, just for a little extra kick. That's pretty much it. Dark kidney beans, light kidney beans. This probably pretty well rounds out the recipe.
Yeah, when I was looking around last Sunday for a recipe to try, I wanted something sort of simple, but not super simple, but not super hard. Because when you look at some of these recipes, my goodness, Austin, the ingredient list is, it could be 30 or 40 different ingredients that some people put in this chili. And
and I think people go overboard with that, because chili's really very basic.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have a lot of ingredients to have a fantastic chili. You just have to have the right seasonings, the right meat, and that type of thing. But I think a lot of these recipes, like you said, there's 100 different ingredients in them, and it's overboard to me.
Well, last week when I made mine, I just used ground chuck, and after I got it going and mixed up, I looked on my Facebook thread that I was getting ideas from, and somebody said add sausage.
Yeah.
And it was too late for me to do it, because the chili was about to come out of the pot anyway. It was so much. How much sausage do you add, Austin, when you're doing it?
I use a pound of chuck or ground beef, and I use a pound of sausage.
Oh, half and half.
Use a pound of each.
Yeah.
And the recipe I use makes quite a bit, because my wife always tells me, she says, you cannot cook for 2 people. You cook for 12.
That's what I
so everything I cook turns out to be a large portion.
It's hard to cook for 2 people.
It is.
You know, that
It's
chili
very
I made-
hard to cook, but
Yeah.
But I love leftovers, and that Frank's right. That chili's better the next day. It's better the next day than it is when it comes right off the stove.
What
And I mean another thing that I do too is I actually use a Dutch oven. I use a cast iron. I think chili's better with a cast iron.
Good stuff.
That's what I had. That's what I had used mine in, just because it was handy, and it was clean.
Yep.
So I grabbed it and used it, and it seemed to work out okay. What how long, Frank? How long do you cook yours? Because this is where I saw a lot of different ideas.
I cook mine in a stock pot about that tall, and I did the same thing he does. Cook way too much. But I put it in a stock pot, put the lid on, turned it down very low, cracked the lid just a hair, and I probably let that chili cook for 3-4 hours. I mean, just very low. It was not boiling. So you really get all the ingredients, I guess, gelled in there, cooked well together. So.
How about you, Austin?
You cut out for just a second.
How long do you cook your chili? What's your method for cooking it?
I usually let mine go at least 2 hours. I'll let it. Now, I tell you, this past Saturday when I saw your post on Sunday, the day before, I actually cooked mine in a pressure cooker for one of the first times. But I still let it go for about an hour and a half in the pressure cooker.
Steve, need to hit our first break here, and also we've got Cooch on hold for when we come back.
All right, good deal. We're going to take a real quick break. Austin, can you hang with us for a break or two?
Absolutely.
Good deal. Cooch, you hang on. We're going to come to you next. You're listening to this barbecue show with Steve Ray right here on Talk Radio 102.3. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Good job, fellas. Very good. Very good. You guys know what you're talking about.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra brings Christmas Eve.
I've got a face for radio.
Y'all sounded good. Y'all sounded real good.
I got a trivia question when we come back on with a prize award.
Oh, Lord.
About chili, I hope.
It's about chili.
All right. I did a lot of research on chili this past couple days, just on online. It said, one guy says that Mexico takes credit for it, and of course Texas takes credit for it, and people in Texas take credit for everything that was ever made.
Hey,
Yeah, really.
Spoil my trivia question.
Well, I won't. And then when you read Wikipedia, the first thing it says is, where does it come from, or where does it start? And it was, they gave Mexico credit for it, and it's just funny. It's the same thing as barbecue. Is when you say, where did barbecue come from? Everybody in Virginia says it came from here. Everybody in Florida says, we invented it.
Texas,
yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, Texas invented it. It's amazing how many people claim the origins of barbecue. The chili thing is the exact same argument. Nobody knows for sure.
Well, I read something on that, and I thought it was very interesting. They said Mexico, if chili had come from Mexico, which a lot of people mistakenly think it did, it would have repeated itself, not over tens of years, but over hundreds of years, because they cycle. Their culture teaches the same cooking, which I thought was interesting. And chili does not exist in Mexico. The term chili con carne does, but that's an American term for chili that is not really made in Mexico.
And then somebody posted on mine that said, in Texas they don't use beans; it's meat only. Had you ever heard that, Austin?
Do what now?
Had you ever heard that in Texas they don't use beans in their chili? It's just all meat.
I actually do know that because Fred Fletcher, who was the chief of police in Chattanooga, always gives all of us a hard time for putting beans in it.
Yeah.
Their chili's meat only, usually in Texas.
Really?
You see, even policemen sit around and argue about this stuff. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
How's Fred doing, by the way?
He's doing good. He's out in Colorado. He's living out in Woodland Park, Colorado, out near Pine Beach.
Yeah.
Is he still a policeman?
No, he's doing consulting work for the International Association of Chiefs of Police. organization. I think he's doing consulting work for them.
Good. Aaron, how you doing? Aaron.
Now he's a good
He's
cook.
out. He even turned off the light.
Just
That's
a few
the way
seconds.
you execute a midnight snack run. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org. Talk Radio 102.3.
Welcome back to the Barbecue Show with Steve Ray. This part of the show is brought to you by Butcher Barbecue Competition Blend Maple Rub, the newest addition from Butcher Barbecue, available at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ooltewah, right next to my Midnight Oil. This is a fantastic, sweet rub. Next time, folks, you make chicken wings, include Butcher Barbecue Maple Rub in your recipe. It makes a great flavor on the chicken wings, turns them a nice golden brown. Yeah, Kurt. We got Cooch on the line. I think we got some caller on the line. Go ahead, Cooch.
Yes, we do. Cooch ready to go.
Go, Cooch.
Hey, Steve, how you doing, buddy?
It's all good. What's up?
I'm great. All right, I got a couple questions for you. One is, I've never smoked wings, and I want to tomorrow, go
Yep.
for my football. And I just want some pointers. How, what temperature do you keep them at? I've got a pretty decent-sized old-school smoker.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wonder what temperature and how long to cook them. I've got some rub that my younger daughter and son live in Waco, Texas. And my son's wife's uncle he's won awards in Texas doing his barbecue. He gave me a gallon-sized bag of rub that I brought back from Texas with me. So I'm good on rub until it's gone, but he wouldn't tell me, what it's made out of, but it's really good.
Of course not.
But I just want to know, how long do you cook wings, and what temperature do I keep them at?
I'll tell you the way I do it.
What food would you recommend?
Cooch, I'll tell you the way I do it. I do wings on a smoker. I cook them at 285 degrees. I run the smoker up to 285, and I hold it there.
Okay.
Now I cheat. I usually use a pellet smoker or a gravity feed smoker, and it's real easy to keep the temperature
Right.
even.
I want to get one eventually.
Yeah. So what you want to do is at 285. What I'm looking for more than time is temperature.
Okay.
I spritz those while I'm cooking those wings. I spritz them with butter after I rub them, okay, and then put them on the grill.
Okay.
And about every half hour, I'll spritz them with. I can't believe it's not butter, spritz butter. Then I take them up to
Okay.
135.
All
Take them up to 135 degrees. Now, what I do next is I have a grill standing by, or a griddle on super high heat, and I'll take the wings off the smoker.
Okay.
And then I hit them with the butter one more time, and then I'll transfer them to the grill, whether it's charcoal or gas or even a flat-top griddle like a Blackstone. And I'll finish them on the grill or
Okay.
the griddle. And, of course, taking them up to 165 degrees is where I go, 165 to 175. And for chicken wings, that's a pretty good tasty wing. You'll get a crisp bite with that, and you'll get a little bit of the smoke flavor, and then you get a little bit of that char flavor.
Char's good.
Yeah, and that's the way Frank and I did them. We did a contest. Oh, that Scrappy's contest. I think we came in third place.
Yep.
In that, it was pretty good, and people seemed to like them, and that's why I've been doing them ever since, Cooch. And man, they're great. And make sure you separate them too.
All right, well,
Don't cook the whole thing. Make sure you separate the drummies and the flats.
okay. And let me ask one more question. What was that maple rub you just mentioned about the wings?
What was the what?
The maple rub you mentioned before you took my call about about the use on wings?
Yeah,
Right there.
Butcher
What brand was it?
Butcher Barbecue Maple Rub.
Where do you get that from?
I've got it at my place, the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro
Okay.
Shop in
I know
Oilsville,
you're at.
right next to Midnight
Yeah,
Oil.
all right. Yeah, I know exactly where you're at. One more question.
Sure.
Pork tenderloin. Like the Smithfield one you get, I don't know, what is it, 2 pounds? It's small.
Yeah.
Tenderloin.
Yeah.
What temp and how long would you cook that in a smoker?
again, I cook everything. I know people get tired of hearing me say 285, but that's my sweet spot.
You cook higher than most people do, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do, and I've got no problem ramping up to 310 when I'm smoking either. But I'll smoke it, and I'll take it up to about 120, and then again I put it on the grill and finish it off to get the grill marks and the grill taste to it, and take it up to 135, 140. And the thing about pork tenderloin I've learned is when you pull it off the grill, wrap it up in a towel or put it in a cooler or foil and let it rest. It absorbs all the juices back into it, and when you cut into it, you'll be amazed at how juicy it is.
Yeah, because I tried smoking one once, and it was dry as all could get out, and that's why I was wanting to try it again, but I wanted some info because I just did it no one told me how to do it. I was just trying it out.
You probably cooked it too high.
I was in Boston, but I did like 195 and for hours and stuff, but it just wasn't high enough heat, I guess. And
well, you cooked it too long. I mean, you made a fossil.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, because it was terrible.
Hey, pick you up.
I did want to give it another shot.
All right, Cooch. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Cooch.
Thank you, guys.
We're with Austin Garrett from the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department and local Chattanooga foodie, and my buddy and partner Frank Blair here in the studio with us. We're talking a little bit of chili. Austin, have you ever, when you're making chili, have you ever added anything that was like boy, I wish I hadn't done that?
Tell the truth.
No, because I have to be really careful with my wife because if I get too crazy with things, she won't eat it. So
yeah,
I've never added just a surprise ingredient.
Now Frank's got his hand up. What did you do, Frank?
Loaded it up with cayenne and chili pepper. My wife wouldn't. She took one bite of it and basically tossed the spoon in the air and said, "No, I can't eat this." And she's running to the faucet to rinse her mouth out. Way too hot for her taste. She cannot stand hot food, so I have to be careful.
I've always said, I always thought I made mine real mild, and I thought, well, if somebody wants it hot, they can add hot sauce to it.
True.
Let them do it. And also, have you ever competed in any of the local chili contests that we used to have before COVID?
No, I never have. Now, like I said, my wife, she's competed at the airport in a chili luncheon, and I think she was first runner-up or tied for first place. She was tied for first. She's correcting me.
Mm-hmm.
Tied for first place, and I tried to tell her I did the couple of things that I do. She wouldn't have tied. She'd have actually won, but she just kind of gives me a funny look when I tell her that.
I'm sure that was well taken, wasn't it?
But I've never competed. I don't know that I'm that good at anything as far as cooking goes.
It's I've never competed in chili, but I've watched a couple videos and I got interested in it, and those guys look like they have a whole lot of fun.
Well, you remember the World Food Championships?
Oh yeah.
They have a chili division. These guys come from all over the country to compete in the chili category.
What is the what's your thoughts, Austin, on have you ever made and you too, Frank, the chili meat only or beans only? Have you ever any of you two ever gone that route?
I've never did that because I personally prefer the beans, and I could try it, but I just always prefer having a lot of beans in my chili. So I've never did it without.
Frank,
me either. I've always chili is part of. Beans are part of chili. That's just the way I've always cooked.
Yes,
chili.
exactly.
Yeah. When you guys cook it, I noticed on mine there was like at the very top was like a layer of clear grease, oil. Is that normal?
It's coming off the meat.
Okay.
Especially if you're using 80-20, ground chuck. It's greasy. Got a lot of grease in it.
Austin, do you use 80-20 on your beef part, or do you go leaner?
Usually, and I'll tell you something else. I know a lot of people will drain the meat after they brown it. Mm-hmm. I don't do that. If I put mine in and start, searing the onions and everything, a little bit of oil, and get it started with garlic, and I brown the beef and the sausage together, and I just add my ingredients in. I don't drain any of that because I think that adds to the flavor.
How much garlic do you use? Because I didn't. Garlic wasn't on my list. I didn't even think to use it. How much? Like
Well,
a couple cloves or?
I've got some prepped minced garlic in a jar, and I'll use a couple of heaping tablespoons. And
Okay.
like I said, my wife's recipe that I started with calls for like 2 teaspoons or maybe 2 tablespoons of chili powder, but I usually use about 4 heaping tablespoons of chili powder. And I go pretty heavy on
What
it.
does the chili powder? Is that hot? I mean, I've used it, but I didn't taste it. Is it hot or is it?
It's hot, but that's where you get your dark chili color.
Yep.
Because that's where
Your color.
that dark.
Oh,
pepper,
okay.
You know, paprika is a lot lighter, and it obviously doesn't have the kick that chili pepper does.
Yeah.
So, and cayenne's
Yeah.
a red, where that's a real dark color.
All right, now Austin, I'm going to put you on the spot now. When you're not making Austin's world famous chili, where's your go-to place in Chattanooga metropolitan area for good chili?
Oh gosh. Well, you did put me on the spot on that one.
And don't say Wendy's.
I mean, no, I would have to say Austin's Kitchen, but you've already ruled that one out.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably have to come try Frank's Chili or Steve Ray's Chili. I don't know. I don't know in Chattanooga where the best chili would be unless it's homemade.
Well, I wonder,
Yeah.
Oh
Frank.
man, you really.
Me either. You know, the olden days at the farmer's market, you probably could have picked up a true bowl of chili. Maybe someplace like Zarzar's, you know. I don't know. My wife's accused me of the same thing, Austin, being a food snobby.
Well, now when you ask somebody where the best barbecue in town
Stay at
is,
home.
they, everybody's got their favorite. But see, you say chili, and everybody stops.
Huh.
I don't know. Huh? Maybe somebody out there listening.
Yeah,
has an opinion. They'll
Steve,
call
we've
in.
got John.
Hey.
Steve, we've got John on the line. He has a question about chili for you guys.
All right, bring him right on. Thanks, Kurt.
John, go ahead.
Well, hello.
Hey,
You
John.
know, my wife, my mother-in-law, she made the best chili that, and she put the sausage in, and she put the meat in. But a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, my daughter had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And, well, she has gotten, my wife and I into this, if it tastes good, spit it out. Do you have anything that we could, like a non-gluten, non-meat chili recipe?
I mean, a vegetarian, John?
Kind of, sort of.
John, let me pipe in here on that one. Have you guys tried the non-meat vegetable substitute?
You know what? We haven't. I don't know, because my wife gets up at 7 o'clock, especially this time of year, and she starts making the chili, and then and when the football game comes on, I'm like, oh, how do you like it? I'm like, it's good.
I actually bought some Beyond Meat. That's one of the 2 brands, and I bought it just out of curiosity because Burger King and Hardee's and several people were serving a vegetarian hamburger, and so the 1 pound of meat actually made 4 hamburgers. If you can get past the mental part of it, knowing that it's not ground round or ground beef, it actually tasted pretty stinking good. I seasoned it just like I would ground beef and made burgers out of it. So you might want to give that a try. Now, chili.
Okay. Well, I thank you for that, because it doesn't. The taste is what I'm concerned with, because I only have 1 bowl, and well, did you like it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, well, you only had 1 bowl.
Yeah. Hey, John, thanks for the call. We got to run. Austin, can you hang with us to one more break?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good deal. We're going to take a real quick break. You're listening to The Barbecue Show with Steve Ray, our special guest, Austin Garrett, and Frank Blair. Jeff Maxwell chimed in, said Tremont Tavern has very good chili. And Mike Martin chimed in on the Facebook instant message and said that Kevin Brown's brisket chili was off the chain. So there's two, Tremont Tavern out in North Chat and out here in Ooltewah, Kevin Brown's brisket chili. We'll kick more. If you got a chili, if you got a favorite chili place, 267-1023. We'll be right back. Man, you guys
Brisket
are on
chili
fire.
sounds really good.
You guys are on fire.
Brisket chili sounds really good.
Local, regional, national, and international.
You take brisket trimmings, and instead of putting ground beef in there, I mean, your brisket's already cooked, right? So
Yeah,
the only thing
yeah.
you're doing is putting that in with the onions and tomato sauce and garlic and yada, yada, yada. I've made some one time because I heard it was good, and it was off the chain good.
Really good?
Yeah, very good. And you're brisket scraps.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the
it's
burnt,
got-
the
it's
burnt
got-
ends and everything be great in there.
Well, it's got that good earthy, beef taste to it. Probably more so than chili with ground beef, in my opinion.
Well, you gave me an idea too, Frank, on the cumin. I think I may go 50-50 on that with the chili powder and the cumin. I may try that instead of using so much chili powder.
My sister told me about that. I was cooking something, I don't even remember what it was, and she said, try cumin. And I bought some, and whatever it was I cooked, next time I used it in that, and it was good, so now I keep it at home.
Yeah.
I
do use dark chili powder. I use the dark chili
I do
powder
too.
for the color.
Yeah, it's almost dark burgundy red, real dark.
I didn't, the recipe I had, it called for, I want to say a quarter cup of chili powder. It wasn't very much.
Quarter cup?
No, yeah.
That's a lot of chili powder.
No, a quarter of a cup.
A cup is going to be that much.
A quarter.
A quarter is going to be,
A fourth of a cup.
yeah, that's a lot. To me, that's a lot of chili powder.
It doesn't take that much.
I do 4 heaping tablespoons. That's about the same amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I was going to use taco. I couldn't find my chili powder, and I was trying to use up stuff I have at the house. So I was going to put in my taco stuff, but I didn't. I found some chili powder, so I nixed that. But I put a little cumin in mine. I'm not a real cumin fan, but the recipe called for it, so I don't know enough about
Chili?
it. I don't know enough about it.
That taco seasoning sounds pretty good, man. That'd probably be really good.
Well, I tell you what, I took a beating on Facebook when I put it out there.
That's why you call it a secret recipe. You don't tell anybody.
You can't get beat up by something they don't know.
I tell you, I love when people chime in and give their thoughts and ideas on when you put out something like that. I love it. I love it. It's one thing we all have in common. We all got to eat.
And
most
of them enjoy it way too much.
And
well, and everybody has their own taste buds also, so everybody likes different things.
And everybody kind of when you start talking food, I've noticed even at the gas station, the politics go to the back burner, and everybody all of a sudden becomes friends. Yeah, everybody becomes friends again. What do you put in
politics.
there? How do you cook that? It gets to be like it used to be.
Oh my! Hey, ask Frank how I got my first batch of Frank Blair's rub. If he remembers where I got my first batch of that out.
Well, did Billy Kissling give it to you?
No, you brought it to me at
Actually,
Jim
I brought
Brewer's
it at
funeral.
Jim Brewer's funeral. But didn't
Sure
Billy,
did.
Didn't Billy give you some though before that?
Jim would have liked that.
Hell yeah.
I think he did. Now that you said that, Frank, I think he did.
I think he did because either he did or Lindy did.
Yeah, I think Billy did. Billy did.
Yeah. He said, "How much owe you?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "What?" I said, "Man, I do this for fun." Just to see
That
if I
rub
can
is
see if I can make
fantastic.
it. Well, I got a new version now. I've got you got Hooterville butt rub. Because who doesn't love a good butt
Bring
rub?
hope and healing to those who desperately need it. To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org today.
Talk Radio 102.3.
Hey, welcome back to the barbecue show. with Steve Ray, our guest tonight. Frank Blair, the most popular guy in town, and Austin Garrett, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy and local food expert. And we were talking about chili right before the break. We took two people called in with their favorite chili places. One was the Tremont Tavern. The other was out here in Ooltewah, Kevin Brown's world famous. Let me Harold Stockbroker this. World famous Kevin Brown's brisket chili, and we're gonna shift gears tonight. And Frank, I can't believe you brought it. Austin, you'll see if you watch this after the shows over the Facebook Live. Frank brought some chili dishes, and they're on the screen right now. Frito pie. Have you heard of that, Austin?
Frito pie right there.
Oh yes, absolutely. Use Frito chips.
Right
Yep.
there.
And
the big dip chips, not the little tiny ones.
have you ever?
right.
Have either of you ever tried that? I never. I'd heard of it, but it's not something that stuck in my brain until this week when I was doing a little research on chili that I saw it, and it just looked absolutely incredibly good. Is when they take the bag of Fritos and they split it open, they put it in a boat, and then they pour the chili inside of the Frito bag. Austin, have you ever had it like that?
I have had it like that.
I have never had that. Yeah.
Now, where did you have it at?
I had it at a festival somewhere, and they just hand you the bag of Fritos, and it's got everything in it, and you eat it right out of the bag.
Right.
With what? Your hands? A big spoon, fork, or what?
No, I had a fork or a spoon.
Okay.
I had never heard. That was.
So you're talking about a chili bag, the single serve chili bag.
Yeah, but it'd have to be the big bag though. It couldn't. The little bags wouldn't be. The little bags like you get at Sam's wouldn't be big enough. You'd have to get the. You'd have to get that kind of like that medium sized bag. I guess was it a medium sized bag that you got, Austin?
Yeah. It wasn't the little snack pack. It was the bigger bag.
Well, when we were talking about, when we were trying to put together that festival in Ooltewah that got canceled this year, we were looking for something to, make that was different.
Chili be
and
good.
And I was going to do a Loco Moco, but I'm telling you, the Frito chili is. I think that would be a winner. You know who invented that?
It'd be all right.
Now get
no
that.
idea.
Now this is good. The exact origin of the Frito pie is not completely clear, but it's believed to have been created in Mexico and was popular at fiestas before it took off in other countries like the States. The oldest known recipe, of course, now this comes from Texas, which, big surprise. Yeah. The oldest known recipe using Frito's brand corn chips in chili was published in Texas in 1949. The recipe may have been invented by Daisy Doolin. Now Daisy Doolin's husband, guess what he started? Frito-Lay. And he invented the Frito. And it says that she was the mother. I'm sorry, not the wife, but the mother of the guy that invented the Frito. And she was the first person to ever use it in cooking. But then they said it may have been written by Mary Livingston, Mr. Doolin's executive secretary at the Frito-Lay company. And Frito-Lay says the recipe was written by Nell Morris, who joined Frito-Lay in the 50s and helped develop a cookbook that included the Frito pie. And they were made popular in Texas, of course. In the 50s, they started serving them at football games.
Yeah, that makes sense. Friday night football games.
Now, Austin, have you ever been to I know you've been to a million football games as a spectator and working. Have you ever seen them served anywhere here in Chattanooga?
I've never seen that served anywhere here at a football game. But I would have thought Frank Blair had come up with that idea and created the Frito pie.
I will tell you that there is a spinoff on that, which is served even at Ooltewah High School football games, called the Chili Mac, which is nothing more than macaroni noodles, no cheese on them, put in a bowl, and then the chili is ladled over the top of that. And it's just cheap. It's cheap, concession stand stuff. It's cheap. It's pretty filling. And it's great when it's warm, Friday night football game in Skull. So there's your chili mac.
Now you see why I think Frank Blair had a hand in that.
Yeah, I agree. Austin, when you see these dishes that Frank, go back to number 3 here. When you see these dishes on the Facebook feed that Frank make, they're just wonderful and very colorful. And the thing about chili to me is it can be used as like a soup, stew, whatever, and then the things that they do with it, the things we've been talking about, putting it over Fritos, putting it over hot dogs. What is, Austin and Frank, we'll start with you, Austin, what is the most strangest or best use of chili that you've ever seen other than just, the simple bowl of chili that at festivals and things of that sort? Because I know you've been to a million of these things.
Well, I guess the Frito pie is one for sure. I like it over a brat. But I don't know as far as strange. I don't know. I don't know if I could answer the strangest.
Frank, what is Frank brought a brat with chili over it.
Funny. That's
and it looks really good.
One of the 3 that I brought. That's a smoked brat.
Very nice.
With a little Mexican cheese and, of course, a chili ladle over the top. Pretty simple, straight up. I don't think there's anything any better than a good old-fashioned chili dog.
Fellas, we got to take our last break. Austin, thank you so much. We're going to let you go. We sure appreciate you spending this time with us talking about chili. You're wonderful to do so.
Okay.
And anytime you want to come on the show and talk about food, or if you got an idea, please, by all means, give me a call and we'll get you on, okay?
Will do. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Austin. Thank you so
Same,
much.
man.
Austin Garrett, Hamilton County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy to Sheriff. We'll be right back after this short break. You're listening to The Barbecue Show, brought to you by the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ooltewah. We'll be right back. Frank Blair's going to stay with us till the end of the show. So hang with us.
I just refer to him now as the chief.
The Chief.
The chief.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
He was really good.
Austin's
I hope everybody watching's enjoying this.
You're overwhelmed with
Al
information
Selvage, thanks for
overload.
being with us. Jeff is still with us, of course. Jason Clark, everybody has their favorite recipe for chili, but I have a secret ingredient that I add to my chili that will guarantee no indigestion or heartburn.
Well, please share it.
I add 1 12-ounce beer. I've heard that, Jason. Somebody told me that. And it sounds like a good idea. 1 12-ounce beer to the chili, 6 ounces at the beginning, and the other 6 ounces about 3 or 4 hours into the cook.
So he
Guaranteed. It cuts through the acidity
Simmer
from the tomatoes.
Simmer low and slow.
No, see, I didn't put any tomatoes in mine. My recipe didn't call for tomatoes.
Diced tomatoes.
In a can?
Oh, yeah, diced tomatoes
Or,
in a can.
yeah, okay. That sounds good. I like
I
tomatoes.
use tomato paste and tomato sauce and
Yeah.
diced tomatoes. It's
Tom Ide says, the Jersey guy says, nope, sounds like a mess. Ken Smith, my buddy in Nashville, Frito chili in a bag originated in Santa Fe. Ken, I read that. I read that too. Steve Jordan said, I had it at the Knoxville World's Fair, and they were in the lunch-size bags, the Frito pie. So that seems to be a fan favorite. Frank, says, Jeff said, did Frank give you a little bottle as well? Probably did. Chili at the end of these, what it's like. Let's see, Al Salvage, my break. Al says his wife, Charlotte, makes good chili. I bet she does. I bet Al Salvage can make chili.
Yeah.
I bet Al makes a good bowl of chili. Tom says Al made. We can agree on the bourbon brand, but not the beans. See, they've already had a fight on chat room. So, Tremont again. Got to have beans. How much meat in the ratio? Let's see.
We live in a technology world. I just got 2 texts.
An air fryer does a pretty good
Make sure
job.
not to add too much onions.
Yeah. See, talk radio people used to actually call, but now they just text you. But that's okay. Gene Myers and his wife Jackie bought a Green Mountain Grill a couple weeks ago. They said they love it, Frank.
Yeah.
They bought it the night of the big turkey cook.
Yep.
Then let's see, Steve Jordan. Jeff was talking to Steve. Uses ancho, cayenne, white pepper, crushed red pepper, salt, and whole habanero. We won't read that one. What else? Well, there's a lot of chatter on the show. I knew talking about chili would be fun
Well, I got one
and
here that
interesting.
says, text that says, tell Steve to make me a pot of chili and I'll let him know if it's good or not.
Who said that?
Ray Ivey,
Ray.
manager of Ray's Hardware out here in Ooltewah. Good friend Ray.
Man, I tell you, Ray took me to school on a state competition one time.
He did. He
Whoa.
whooped Joe behind.
Whoa, that was ugly. And the no reason he won it because he had that that shotgun stake season, and I didn't use any season.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Matter of fact, I have some of that at home. Shotgun Sids.
Yeah, or Fred.
Fred?
Yeah, Shotgun Fred. You're watching the Facebook feed. We're live on WGOW Talk Radio 102.3 in Chattanooga. You can listen to WGOW on the World Wide Web simply by going to www.wgow.com. Click on the Listen Live icon. Listen to about a minute in ads, and then it'll go right to the live feed. The Morning Press. Those guys at 10. Jim Place at noon. Dave Ramsey at 1. And Sport Talk at 3 till 7.
Sport Talk has become an institution in Chattanooga Talk Radio.
30 plus years and going strong.
Miss dear old Dr. B. Heck, we'll find
Any vitamin C. Buy Ester C and support your immune health today. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Talk Radio 102.3.
Welcome back to the Barbecue Show with Steve Ray. This part of the show brought to you by the Green Mountain Grill, the Jim Bowie, the Davy Crockett, and the Daniel Boone. All three available now at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ooltewah. We've got all the accessories. We've got a huge accessories order in. So if you've been waiting for the blankets to get there, everybody's been asking about the thermal blankets, they're here. The extra shelves, they're here. The drip pan liners, they're here. The mats, they're here. We'll be getting them out tomorrow, so come by and see us tomorrow. It's Saturday, and that means grilling and barbecue day at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop in Ooltewah, right next to Midnight Oil. When it's Saturday there, that means it's Michelin Tire Day. Always fun to come to the Midnight Oil complex in Ooltewah on Saturdays. You can talk tires, you can talk barbecue. We just have a big time. There's no other place like it, is there, Frank?
That's true.
267-1023 if you want to get in on our chili conversation real quick, please do. Frank Blair with me. Appreciate Austin Garrett hanging with us through most of the show. We're talking chili. Frank, what is your first? Like I said, my first memory of chili was last week. I'm way too late to this game. But what did your mom make it when you were a kid, or did your dad make it, or where did you pick it up at?
You know, if I were to look back, I probably have more fond memories of cooking from my grandmother than anybody else. So, and candidly, I don't remember if she made it or not. If I had to guess, I would say that there was a good chance, because I used to go spend the night on the farm on the weekends with my grandparents as a kid growing up. So,
I could see it. It's one of those dishes where you can hang around the kitchen, and while you're doing it, people talk. Hey, I used to do this. Or my grandmother used to do that. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. And it's such a subjective dish, I guess. It's a lot like barbecue. And
it's not expensive. It feeds a lot of people very well. I think it's a good main staple dish. It fills you up,
Well, I think that's probably the origin of it, which is not unlike barbecue. Impoverished folks had to stretch their dollar, and maybe if they bought a little meat, they were going to stretch that as far as they could go and make chili of it.
When I read I looked like you looking for chili trivia, and one of the original recipes that I read said the original recipe was brought from the Canary Islands off the coast of Spain with immigrants to actually Texas, and they originally made them with, believe it or not, no peppers.
No peppers.
No.
And that's what you just. Now it's how hot is it?
Yeah.
That's the first
you
question.
Think it comes from Mexico, but it does not.
When I was talking to somebody about making chili at the gas station. They said, "How hot was it?" I said, "It wasn't hot." Because I don't like hot. It's okay.
Here's a bottle of hot sauce.
Don't jump off a bridge. But everybody's afraid that chili's going to be too hot, and it's like barbecue sauce. How hot is it? I don't like hot, and they're scared to death of it. like they'll never get it out of their mouth.
Some people love it. It's a contest to see how hot that they can get it
Yeah.
before they start tearing up and sweating.
I'm going for the milk jug.
I'm not that kind. Yeah.
Frank, thanks so much for being with us. Thanks for the chili talk, man. Aaron Carver, thank you so much. Kurt and Joe back at WGO Studios, thank you so much. Next week on the show, from the Tampa St. Pete area of Florida, we've got Trish Hines of Sassy's Barbecue. Trish will be with us, and we're talking about the granddaddy of all holiday meats next Friday night, the standing rib roast, or as some call it, the prime rib. And she is an expert at it, and we can't wait to talk to Trish. You'll love her. She's great. And then on December 18th, all the way from Omaha, Nebraska, the second most famous resident in Omaha, Matt Frampton, the Urban Slicer, will join us to talk about pizza. That's right, pizza on your grill. Matt Frampton knows all about it, from deep dish to Neapolitan to grilled pizzas. We'll have him on December the 18th. Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on Facebook. And you can find us again here next Friday on WGOW, right here on Talk Radio 102.3. Thank you for listening, everyone. See you next week. Everybody on Facebook, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We sure appreciate it. Hope you join us next Friday. Moving on up.